Dog 6. I'll give you a little something at 5. Break it up a little bit. There's NFL trade today. I'm sure Adam can break that down tomorrow for 5.5 hours with Pat. The draft picks that the Jets got for Sam Darnold from Carolina. Here is Dave in Maryland. He joins us here and he says hello on our program here on this Monday. Dave, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What's going on? Dave.
Great. So Saturday, I watched from tip-off of the first till buzzer of the second. I am putting my money on Baylor. I don't think I need the points, but of course, if they want to give them to me, they can give them to me.
Why is that? Why do you trust Baylor in this game? Gonzaga's got Timmy. Baylor doesn't have him. Why you trust him?
I didn't watch a lot during the year. I don't think I ever watched a Baylor game full or a Gonzaga game full, but Gonzaga played in 11. Baylor played at 2, and my gut says Baylor. So that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't look at the seeds at the moment because UCLA at the end of the day and in this tournament was a better team than Houston. And they certainly were better on a Saturday night. Houston never played at the level that UCLA did the other night. Whatever it might be, Houston is certainly the much better team during the year, but they were not the better team in this tournament. I mean, Houston beat Rutgers. Houston beat Oregon State. I mean, Houston beat a lot of low seeds, and then they got run out by Baylor. UCLA did beat Michigan State and Izzo. All right, not a great team, but they did beat them. UCLA beat a 1 seed in Michigan. I mean, UCLA almost turned around and beat Gonzaga. I think at the end of the day, UCLA was a better team, so I wouldn't look at the seeds so much. Listen, I think, and Dave, I would be a little worried, as Lapis told us, you got to wonder about the energy level for Gonzaga. That was a lot of juice to get through that game. I think that is an issue. But I think if they played 10 times, I do think that Gonzaga would win 7 or 8 of them. And I think you got to go with those kind of percentages. Go ahead. What else today?
Yeah, but they're only playing once. I think ratings, I think you got to throw them out this year. We kind of forget 500,000 people died. Are those families watching games? And I think the world's just a different place right now. So I don't think ratings are that important. They're important for advertising dollars, of course. But Chris, there's something I've been trying to get through to you. And on one of your promotions, you say you don't need callers. You could talk for hours.
Right.
But
right.
I want to ask you about 2 specific calls. And I think sometimes you don't listen or hear what the caller is saying. Last week, a caller called up, and when you were talking about ESPN not covering baseball, and he said, during the NHL playoffs, I was watching ESPN. They were playing Spanish soccer. Where was the hockey? Well, every game was on the NHL. That's why ESPN wasn't playing hockey. But there was no response to that from you. But here's the biggest one. 2 weeks ago is when the Deshaun Watson thing started up. And you gave your views, and you've talked a lot about Deshaun through over the last couple months. And then a caller called up and said, Derek Jeter deserves a lot of credit because he played ball for 20 years in New York City.
I remember the
and
call.
Never got in trouble.
Yep.
And I think you should have blasted that caller.
For what reason?
I mean, for what reason? Oh, Derek Jeter didn't break the law, and we're going to give him extra credit for it? He got paid millions of dollars. Players don't deserve credit for doing the things that are right.
Dave, again, you're missing a point. That's not a case. I mean, you're just arguing about what I should have said. The point is Derek, and good call, that Derek lived in the spotlight as an athlete for a long period of time and basically stayed out of trouble. And he did it in a much bigger city than Watson did in Houston. Much bigger city. Different period in time because more eyes are on Watson now than ever on with Jeter. But Jeter led a pretty exemplary life. Never did the steroids. Always showed up. Never said anything stupid. They brought A-Rod in. He had to deal with that. He, always perfect. I can think of a couple things I didn't like, but always perfect. Watson here. I mean, this is, it's a little different. Watson's a little different. And remember, with Watson, I'm more mad at Watson because, a month ago he told everybody how much he hated Houston. He was never playing there again. He's getting out of there, blah, 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 dee-dee-dee-dee. Firmly, what a disaster it is. He's been mistreated and all that nonsense. That's what Watson said after he signed a guaranteed contract in September. And now I haven't heard a word out of him. Now he's lucky if he's going to play for Houston. Lucky. 22 lawsuits, another one filed today. We'll take a timeout. We continue. 10 in front of the hour. We're on Mad Dog Unleashed.